Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Stupid, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. Is this exposition stuff that I've seen before? It is. Okay. I know Anna. Is this the part where she gets kicked out? She's in trouble. What are you doing? Alright, I can't skip this part, so it's probably either really important or something I haven't seen yet. Oh, Anna got murdered. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, was Damien the one who got murdered in the lab the first time? Okay, that's upsetting. When I turned the corner, there was no mistaking her. Anna was haphazardly covered by a sheet, leaving her tail and blood-stained hand exposed. In the end, she didn't even deserve a full discretion. Are you okay? Okay? Yeah. Is there anything I can do? Let's just get this over with. First gave me a concerned look, but then nodded. And there's more bad news. The blood we found on the first victim in town matches the DNA evidence of the second victim at the power facility. Furthermore, the murder weapon and the method appear to be the same across all three victims, so that's going to be a big problem for you. Okay, so this is, I have seen this indeed. So this is the second murder. I would like to skip ahead, save a little bit of time. And now that, am I gonna get to do all of these? Police archives don't ring a bell. Let's visit the police archives. I was on my way to the police station, and indeed, I can't skip this, so it looks like I haven't seen it yet. I was on my way to the police station when a voice called out to me. Hey, you! Talking to you, human. You're new. I don't believe we've met. Or your hot dog stand. Can I help you? I certainly hope so. I'm in a little conundrum here. My cart seems to be stuck. You can see that. I'm Katsuharu, by the way. Local ice cream vendor. Okay, so it's an ice cream truck, not a hot dog truck. Close enough. You've probably heard of me by now. Of course. In any case, do you think you can spare some time to help me out? It might take a while, though, so I hope you're not in a rush. Yeah, because that sounds like a Steam achievement, right? I just tried pulling it out, but I think the axle is going to break if I try to do that again. It wasn't really the best condition. It wasn't really in the best condition to begin with, and honestly, I heard a crack when I tried to pull it out earlier. So what do you want me to do? The cart is pretty heavy, so I'll be the one lifting it and holding the wheel steady so the axle doesn't break. Once I give you the sign, you start pulling, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Alright? Here, grab the handles and wait for my signal. This shouldn't take too long, right? Unless it breaks on us in the middle, then I have to fix it. By the time I had gotten into position, Katsuharu was already on the other side of the cart, getting dirty as he slowly lifted the affected corner of the cart out of the muddy hole. Is that your sign? Should I start pulling now? Do it now! I started pulling, but the cart turned out to be much heavier than I expected, and it didn't move. What are you waiting for? Do it already! I pulled harder, but the cart still refused to budge. I mustered all my strength before I pulled it as hard as I possibly could, and this is where he breaks it, isn't it? Slowly, the cart started moving, and after a few seconds, it was freed from the previous clutches the perilous clutches of the muddy puddle. With a dull thud, the dragon set the cart down again before he flopped on the ground, exhausted. Hey, we did it. Yeah, good job. Do you want me to call some help? No, I just need some rest. And maybe some ice cream. Yes, I'll have some ice cream, and I'll be better off in no time. That must be some pretty good ice cream. Right? Oh, you have no idea. You must have already heard people talking about my wonderful, unique ice cream experience. Actually, not really. Where are my manners? I haven't even properly thanked you yet. It's no problem. No, I insist. I wouldn't be indebted to you for helping me. What are you planning? You're hereby invited to join me for ice cream. As an ambassador, you owe it to yourself and humanity to try it. Maybe I do. Well, I must get going for now. Here's my number. I'll get you that ice cream some other time. Thanks. Okay, that is indeed a Steam achievement. Ultrast, yeah, it's better for everyone if the ice cream cart isn't stuck. Before deciding my next move, I did not indeed get to go to the police station. I returned to my apartment for a moment to rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door when I was gone. Don't go to the portal. Oh, is this the one where it says don't go to the portal and I go to the portal and then I, like, end up not going to the portal? I'm pretty sure I've seen this. I can skip this. The last time I went, I remember that, so I'll call the police this time. Remy's list of phone numbers given to me when he brought me to his apartment in the first place proved to be a valuable tool. I dialed the emergency line and was greeted by a calm voice asking me about my emergency. The gravity of the situation was understood, and I was advised to stay inside until further notice. The team was dispatched to deal with the situation while I waited. From my window, I tried to catch a glimpse of what was going on at the portal, but I couldn't see much. The dark of night was fast approaching. About an hour later, I was informed that the team had searched the perimeter. There were no trace of Razor was found. I was given the go-ahead to continue with my investigation, but I was free to stay where I was if it felt unsafe. Okay. Can I go back to the police archives? As I was before? I can. That's great. When I arrived at the station, I was met by the police archivist, a dragoness who introduced herself as Calanth. You're in luck, stupid. Bryce compiled all the case files a while ago. Ever since you came to our world, he seems to be a lot more interested in the human mysteries. I wonder if it has something to do with you. Anyway, you can find all the files here. I'll leave the rest to you. Study the blueprint of the underground building near the portal, which I definitely want to do eventually. Read the structural damage report of the underground building near the portal, which I also want to do. Play a prank and rummage through the trash. This hasn't been the case so far in the game, but I feel like there's a non-zero chance of finding something interesting in the trash. Besides a Steam achievement. Right on cue. Just like in the bushes. It's a flat base with a circular indent on the top. Where have I seen this before? Is this Lorem's sphere thing? It's part of a sphere. Okay, so should I see Lorem again, I can give it back. Blueprints, though. It would seem like a big waste of time to come all this way just to play a prank, you know? The blueprint of the building caught my attention. Apparently, it had been found during the cursory investigation within the building itself. At first glance, nothing about it stood out to me, but the more I studied it, the more the facts revealed themselves. Both of its entrances were freed and accessible by the people in charge. One was through a tunnel in the vicinity of the portal, and the other was through a dig that cut through the town's sewer system. Bryce had scrawled a note near the second entry. It simply said, access via hatch, button, counterclockwise. I know exactly what that is, and I'm gonna actually write that down so that I don't remember it. I feel like I'm gonna need to know more than that. But like specifically what buttons, because I think there are a few buttons, but when I go back to the sewer head, I know what to do now. Yeah, that feels better than brute forcing it, doesn't it? Furthermore, the data in the corner of the blueprint listed the structure as an independent living and research unit dated to the year 2047. Most interestingly, I recognized the name of the company that was listed. They were a well-established soup company before our world's collapse, known for their advances in scientific fields and otherwise through their use of legal loopholes and gray markets. So basically Vault Tech? They were very successful at what they did. Their facilities subverted laws and ethical issues by being in the areas where such concerns were non-existent, or could be made non-existent by paying off the right individuals. Naturally, the products and applications of their research were usually fair game to be used and sold worldwide. They were only one of the companies involved in the championing the teleportation technology that was about to take off on a grand scale before the solar flare changed everything. Of course, there were public worries regarding the untested long-term consequences of utilizing black holes in such technology. I'm sure it's fine. It was outlawed in certain countries due to these concerns, but lobbies in the private sector drove many of them to accept the tech in light of the boundless advantages they offered. Yeah, imagine like the black hole lobby, the day that that's a thing in Congress. Alright. There were also big in medical security. From what you've said in the last 2 minutes, I'm not sure if I want this company involved in my security. And weaponry fields. Their vast knowledge and close cooperation of their individual departments enabled them to make many breakthroughs. It seemed like they could do anything they set out to do. The nanomachines that became commonplace before their fall were, of course, also their product. No one was surprised that their tech failed under the radiation of the ion storm. Had the company behind it been more concerned about safety rather than profits, perhaps fewer lives would have been lost. Even though they weren't perfect, nanomachines still had increased the quality of life for many people. It was a new way of treating medical conditions, some of which had been previously untreatable. They were also widely used for their performance-enhancing properties for both day-to-day activities and to assist with dangerous jobs. Beyond that, the company had even branched into genetic engineering. Human hereditary diseases were becoming a thing of the past, as they developed techniques to alter human life to its core. Ultimately, they had a hand in influencing every area on the global of life on the global scale. It was unknown It was unknown who has truly calling the shots. That should be a was. And their network of companies and names was vast. It was only one of their many ways to ensure the continued existence of available and avoid liability. Where they had been outlawed or their operations shut down, new companies with suspiciously similar products appeared practically overnight. Which is not fishy at all. However, no matter how big the empire was or how well they skirted the lines, they ultimately collapsed just like the rest of the world. That being said, how did this building make its way to the dragon's world? It's another thing I think the administrator will have some things to say about. As I pondered this, Adine's request came to my mind. I used Bryce's machine to make a copy of the map for her. Bryce probably wouldn't approve of me giving evidence to civilians, but I was sure he would never even realize it. Okay, I acquired a map. Alright, better wrap it up here. Do I have an inventory? Do I have a map that I can look at? Oh, there's like a relationship thing of how much people like me. That's cool. And there is indeed a list of items, although I don't get to look closely at them on the side here. Alright, achievements. Alright, so there's a lot that should be easy to pick up if I want to. Alright, I'll worry about that later. Alright, it's getting late. I better head to the police station now. Wasn't I just there? Let's see what Sebastian will say to this. Okay. Seriously, though, I was just here. It looks like you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair. I have seen this. By the way, good job calling the police for when you heard Reza. Oh yes, because that was different. It's too bad he got away again, but maybe a witness will come forward and we'll find out what happened. Now, let's take a look at what you've got for me. What you've learned about the map is fascinating, but if not a little unsettling. While it's good to have confirmed its origin, to know that it came from your world is something else. It raises more questions than it answers. How could something like a whole building end up in our world? It's a mystery that needs to be answered. Not bad, stupid. Not bad at all. Thanks for your help. Okay. And that's moving on, and we are visiting people again. I'm at a weird point. I'm 13 minutes into the recording, and usually I like to put these things in their own videos when possible. That's usually about how long they take. But if I have to break it up in the middle, I'll do that. I still feel like that's a little weird to say because in an age long ago that actually doesn't feel like that. It's that long ago, but it's like a decade ago now. The YouTube time limit was 11 minutes, and 13 would have been over. I guess I'll save this for later. Alright, in the next video, we'll be visiting Remy again. For now, my name is Stupid. I need to go make a sandwich because I'm hungry. This has been Angels with Scaly Wings. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.